Welcome back to another video of the Arizona Sports Fan. Thank you so very much for coming back, guys. I really do appreciate it. And now today's video, what I wanted to talk about is the most baddest man of all the Arizona Cardinals. The guy that's used to being disrespected from all the national people out there. But being an Arizona Cardinal fan, we all know that he has been grinding game after game after game. And we all know he's probably top 5 edge rusher in all of the NFL. Why he's been disrespected for this long? I think I might know the reason why. But that's what we're going to dive in today, guys. Go ahead and roll that intro. Welcome back, guys. Now, before we get started, if you guys could do me a huge favor, if you're an AZ sports fan, please consider subscribing to this channel and make sure you drop a like on the video. It helps the channel grow tremendously, and we're trying to hit 3,000 subscribers by the time the regular season starts of the NFL, so I'm super excited about if we can hit this goal. Last thing I want to mention is this. Shout out to Valley Squad, a new up-and-coming Arizona company that is giving you a different way of you repping your favorite team. Now, I recently got my very own DeAndre Hopkins shirt from them. It is really cool. On the bottom it says Valley Squad, and if you take a look on the back, it says Team Valley. Now, these shirts are really cool. They have a lot of different shirts. If you want to go ahead and go to their Instagram as well as their website, they can definitely sell you maybe a DeAndre Hopkins, Kyler Murray. They also have Devin Booker. They even have Madison Bumgarner, which are really cool. I recommend going over to them. Now, if you do go, let them know that the AZ Sports Fan has sent you. I'll go ahead and tag their website on the bottom as well as their Instagram. Go ahead and give them a follow and let them know that the AZ Sports Fan sent you guys. Alright, guys, later. Now on to the topic of choice. What we wanted to talk about today is Chandler Jones. Now, I'm super excited about his progression within the Arizona Cardinals defense. Just a little background on him. He was drafted by the New England Patriots, but ended up getting traded to the Arizona Cardinals back in 2016. What the Arizona Cardinals ended up giving was Jonathan Cooper, which was a first-round pick, offensive lineman, and a second-round pick for Chandler Jones. Now, at that time, there was a lot of Pats fans super upset, and then a lot of excited Arizona Cardinal fans. Now, we didn't really know exactly what we were getting until he actually came onto the Arizona Cardinals. Let me first tell you this. Chandler Jones' entire family comes from a family of athletes. He has an older brother named Arthur Jones, which he was a defensive tackle for, I believe it was the Indianapolis Colts, and he played in the NFL for about 8 years. His middle brother is John Jones. He is a UFC fighter. And then we have Chandler Jones, which is the youngest out of the 3 boys. He is obviously our, edge rusher of the future and probably Hall of Famer of the Arizona Cardinals. I'm really excited to get Chandler Jones. Currently, right now, he's sitting at 30 years old. I believe he turned 30 back in February. So this year, this entirety of this year, he's going to be 30. Now, I'm really excited about him. I don't think he's going to quite slow down yet. I do think he probably has about let's reframe that. I think he honestly has about 3 to 4 solid years left, including this 2020 season, of productivity for Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones is a motor that I haven't seen in quite some time. His numbers within the Arizona Cardinals just coming in 2016, he had 11 sacks. In 2017, he had 17 sacks. In 2018, he only had 13 sacks, but I think I blame that a little bit more on the defensive scheme than Chandler Jones. And then in 2019, he had a magical 19 sack season. Now, I can see more sacks for the future of the 2020 season. Let's first talk a little bit about why he's been disrespected for this long. Chandler Jones has been obviously one of the best athletes in all of the NFL, especially in his position playing the edge. I believe it was back in 2019 or 2018, he didn't even make the top 100 players of all of the NFL, and this was actually players voting on what their favorite or the best athletes out in the NFL was. So that was kind of disrespectful just on the players' behalf. It's been long overdue that he's been disrespected, and just all the national people just in general. Now, one of the main reasons for that is because he plays for the Arizona Cardinals. Let's be honest here. In 2016, we didn't do so hot. I mean, yeah, we were kind of like doing pretty decently, but 2017, no good. 2018, we weren't good. And then 2019, of course, we had, the rookie head coach and then the rookie quarterback. So Chandler Jones, when he came into the Arizona Cardinals, it was the year right after we fell off the NFC playoff kind of, that playoff push. push. So when he came into the Arizona Cardinals, we weren't really contending all that much. That's one of the main reasons why all these national people are looking at Chandler Jones and kind of overlooking Chandler Jones, is because he's playing for an organization like the Arizona Cardinals that you don't really see too much national spotlight on them because they're not really making a lot of things happen. But if you dive into it a lot deeper, Chandler Jones is easily top 5 edge rushers in all of the NFL. The only person I could probably think about putting in front of Chandler Jones as the players right now playing, I probably would say Joey Bosa, but that's even like, he's had a lot of injuries in his career, so it's kind of hard to even put him on there. But I do know the freakishly, athletic freak that is Joey Bosa, as well as his brother Nick Bosa that just came in, playing the edge for the San Francisco 49ers. But Chandler Jones has to be, the most disrespected edge rusher in all of the NFL, and the main reason is because he plays for the Arizona Cardinals. Now, I know that Chandler Jones has been saying that he doesn't care about, the top 100, the top rankings that these national people are putting these players at, but honestly, I care. I care that Chandler Jones is such a really great athlete and probably one of the best edge rushers of all the NFL. To say and to overlook him because he plays for a team like the Arizona Cardinals is kind of unfortunate. I mean, these national people are, have these jobs because they should be looking for the great players, not just talking about the great teams that are always making the playoffs and always have that, that national spotlight with having all these primetime games. Chandler Jones should easily get the same recognition as a TJ Watt, a JJ Watt, a Joey Bosa, or even Nick Bosa, although he's still kind of, pretty new coming into the league, but he's gotten a lot more talk about from Nick Bosa than Chandler Jones, and that to me is straight out insane. All that's going to change this coming year. Now, obviously, we know the big hype that's coming from, the Arizona Cardinals, all the big moves that they made in the offseason, and how different they look from the 2019 roster to the 2020 roster. It's a big difference, night and day. So they've been getting players from free agency as well as they've been getting players from the draft. I just feel like they did everything right. Now that we have more primetime games, I believe the Arizona Cardinals has 2 to 3 primetime games. I think it's 3. I got to relook at the schedule again, but that's just going to be more visibility for everybody to see. And now I'm talking about people outside Arizona. We all know that he's probably one of the best out there. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. And that's one of the reasons why I got Chandler Jones' jersey. He's one of my favorite players of all of the Arizona Cardinals right now. Primetime games really gets everybody talking. It gets all the buzz talking out there about really seeing what Chandler Jones can do. I believe he was like getting a strip sack like every 2 games. Like, if we can get some sort of productivity within our defense, get our offense going, and get in these primetime games that we finally deserve, and we're finally getting the recognition that we're going to get, people are going to finally see Chandler Jones like we see Chandler Jones here in Arizona. So I'm super excited about, what we have going on this coming 2020 season. Before we get to that, I want to know what you guys' prediction is for Chandler Jones' sacks. Put it on the comments here below. If you guys can do me a huge favor, put his sacks here below and what your prediction is. So my prediction for Chandler Jones' total sacks for this year, drum roll please, I think Chandler Jones is going to have 21 sacks this 2020 season. Now, the big reason for that is because the consistency that we're getting of keeping Vance Joseph and keeping the same scheme and adding those key pieces onto the defensive side, whether it's Isaiah Simmons or even Jordan Phillips causing pressure within the interior line. I'm super excited to, what this defensive line is really going to look like. It's been long overdue to finally have somebody opposite side of Chandler Jones. Now, that can very well be Devin Kennard that we ended up getting from the Lions, or if they want to get Isaiah Simmons playing a little edge, they can see what happens there as well. Like I said before, Isaiah Simmons is a versatile player. He can definitely do a lot of different stuff, but I can really see Chandler Jones getting 21 sacks this season because of the key pieces that we added. Only that, our secondary looks pretty good. I mean, we have Patrick Peterson, Robert Alford, Budda Baker, and I really do believe that Jalen Thompson is going to get that opposite side of safety, opposite side of Budda Baker. Now, we also have Byron Murphy, which he might play the slot. I really don't know what's going to happen, if who's going to be that number 2 opposite side of Patrick Peterson. I think it's going to be more Robert Alford, but we'll see once training camp starts. So I'm super excited about Chandler Jones finally getting the respect on his name that he's been deserving for quite some time, guys. That is all I got for this episode. Thank you so very much for tuning in, and I'm out. Thank you so much.